Christmas again in Yucatan. Another year gone, and I was still scratching around on this limestone peninsula. I woke at 8, late for me, wondering where I might find something to eat. Once again, there'd been no scramble among the hostesses of Merida to see who could get me for Christmas dinner. Would the Astro Cafe be open? The Casina Economica? The Express? I couldn't remember from one holiday to the next about these things. A wasp I saw was building a nest under my windowsill. It was a gray blossom on a stem. Go off for a few days and nature starts creeping back into your little clearing. I bathed and dressed and went downstairs to the lobby. Frau Cobald hadn't opened her door yet. She had a room on the ground floor, and by this time she was usually sitting in her doorway. She parked there in her high-back wickerwork wheelchair and read paperback mysteries and watched the comings and goings. Fausto himself was at the desk. Beatrice, poor girl, finally had a day off. Fausto saw me but kept his head down, pretending to be absorbed in some billing calculation. "Well, Fausto, I'm back. Feliz Navidad." "Dios," he muttered. He was annoyed with me because I'd paid him 2 months' rent some weeks back. Now he had spent the money and I was staying free in his hotel, or so he viewed it. He disliked these anticipo payments. Much better that I should get behind in rent, like everybody else, and be beholden to him. I'd arrived in the night, too late to check my mail, and he handed me a letter and a long note in a flash of fingernails. Not otherwise odd in appearance, Fausto made a show of his high-gloss nails. They were painted with clear lacquer, to indicate, I think, that he was of that class of men who did not have to grub in the earth with their hands. "Gracias." "You're welcome." The letter was from my unknown enemy, who signed himself Ah Kin this time. He also called himself Mr. Rose and Alvarado. Or was it a woman? The letter was postmarked here in Merida, and it read, without date or salutation, "Well, Mr. Jimmy Burns, I saw your foolish red face in the market again today. Why don't you go back where you belong and stay there?" Ah Kin, he of the Sun, used a Spanish typewriter, with all the tildes and accent marks, but I had the feeling he was a gringo. The note was a long telephone message taken down by Beatrice, a hauling job in Chiapas. I went outside and smoked a cigarette, looking this way and that, the very picture of an American idler in Mexico, right down to the grass-green golfing trousers. They'd looked all right on the old man from Dallas, but they made me feel like a clown. They were hot and sticky, too, made of some petroleum-based fiber with hardly any cotton content. The town was quiet, no street cries, very little traffic. Christmas is subdued in Merida. Easter's the big festival, Holy Week, when all the fasting and penances come to an end. I could sense nothing in the air. Art and Mike had told me that something was stirring. What? Just something, coming. They couldn't say what. We would see. It was old President Diaz who'd said that nothing ever happens in Mexico until it happens. Things rock along from day to day, and then all at once you're caught up in a rush of unforeseen events.